Shalom, Shalom, Mr. Yahawah with the JMS Germany camp. And first and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah by Hasham, Yahawashi, by Hasham, Barak. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect, the 144,000 men pushing this truth in diligence and sincerity across the four winds. And Shalom to any Akwathian that are listening and learning in diligence and in silence. Okay? So, this lesson was pretty much done in the spirit. I put it together just like 10 minutes ago, because it was on my spirit to do so. Because when you come into this truth, you have to really self-examine yourself, okay? And you have to look at all the things that you consider to be good and weigh them against the scriptures, okay? All the things that you consider to be good in your life, you have to weigh those things against these scriptures, okay? And the scriptures will teach you how to become a man, how to become a new man, and how to become a righteous and holy man, all right? But you got to follow these scriptures. You can't just preach. You can't just preach it. You got to walk it, okay? So with that, let's get right into this lesson. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 1. Judge not, that ye be not judged. Verse 2, for with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye measure, it shall be measured unto you again. So you got to be careful when you looking at people, especially becoming a new man. Because you can be carnal and look with your carnal eyes, or you can be spiritual and look with your spiritual eyes. And I think a lot of us as Israelites, when we read the scriptures, we're so excited to actually be getting it back into us and being able to understand it again that we forget to look at a lot of things spiritually. We take them straight up for face value, and in life and in these precepts also. So we must slow down and look and get to understand what you're reading and what you're seeing before you judge. That's wisdom. That is what wisdom is called. That's being a new man. Okay? Verse 3. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considereth not the beam that is in thine own eye? You see? How can you say something about somebody that they're doing, but when you're doing the same thing in yours, in your lot? Okay? We got to be careful. We have to use spiritual eyes, because looks can be deceiving. You can have a mamzer that looks like an Israelite, but that's not an Israelite. Or you can have an Israelite that is straight up gone in 2/3, but look like, you can have an Israelite that looks straight up like a mamzer. Or vice versa. Straight up like a heathen nation. So you can't judge them by face value. You have to try the spirit. Okay? Or verse 4. Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Verse 5. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam of thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote of thine brother's eye. So when you fully clean yourself of being a hypocrite, then you can show your brother how not to be a hypocrite, man. Until then, you can't. Until then, you got to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah by Hasham, Yahawashi, and be in your lot, man. And focus on what the Lord told us to do. Stop worrying about all these other things that are going on, and go back to the scriptures. Go back to what the Lord gave you, man. That's what we got to do when we come into these precepts and this understanding, and try to become that new man. Let's get the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 33. The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord. So what you're going through, the thing that you've been put in, is of the Lord. He cast that lot onto you. But he's also watching to see how you take that lot. Are you going to be wicked, or are you going to be righteous? Are you going to succumb to the stumbling blocks that he allows the spiritual demon Satan to put in front of you? Or are you going to, cut yourself off of things and deny yourself this life, even though it can be given to you easily? You see? Whereas then another man, he might have a lot where he gotta fight his whole life to be rich. To get some money. And you gotta look at every man in this truth. Some men are masters of languages. Some men are masters of prophecies, understanding them. Some men are masters of words, understanding of words. Some men are masters of history. You see? So you need your brothers, because when you combine them all together, you become one body, man. You see? So we got to be careful about how we look at things and how we judge. Okay? Let's go to the book of Philippians. Salakia. Philippians 2 and 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You see, so we all got to run our own race, man. This whole thing that we're doing is all a race for each one of us. And the one who endured to the end, the same shall be saved. So why are you worrying about your brother or judging your brother, man? When we just now coming into this truth, you should come together and become stronger, man. All right? Verse 13, for it is the Most High which worketh in you both to will and to do his good pleasures. Verse 14, do all things without murmurings and disputings. Verse 15, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as light in the world. You see? So when we come together and we have an understanding of one another, because it's not going to always be holding hand in hand. I'm not saying that, because that'll never be, because we are men. But when you have an understanding of the scriptures, you got to live it, man. You got to walk the walk, not only talk the talk. Instead of worrying about what another man is doing, you should be doing what the Lord said to do. Be worrying about what the Lord said to worry about. Okay? And that is, what time is it? In the book of John, so like in my pages always sticking. The book of John, chapter 21. And verse 12. And Yahawashi saith unto them, Come and dine. And none of his disciples durst ask him. Hold on, I'm on the right. Salakia. It is 1 John 21 and 15. And Yahawashi, so when they had dined, Yahawashi saith unto Simon Peter, Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs. Verse 16. He saith unto him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. Verse 17. He saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. And Yahawashi said unto him, Feed my sheep. Okay? So the Lord told Simon to feed his sheep, man. That's what we should be worrying about. Feeding the body. Looking for the elect. Because once we seal the elect, we are out of here, man. We're out of here. We're out of this captivity. Because when you are in these scriptures, you are committing yourself to this. And then when you're committing yourself to this, then you commit yourself to the work, man. Then you're going to go out there in the highways and hedges. Then you're going to make lessons. Because your video could be the one that wakes up one of the hopeful elect, man. And seal them. You don't know how the Lord do things. The Lord is terrible and great at the same time. You know? So we gotta know what we're doing. Because what we need to do is the work, man. By staying in these scriptures and focusing on doing what the Lord told us to do, which is feed his sheep, we won't have no worries, man. Everything is going to be added unto us. Let's go to John chapter 14, verse 15. Time is running. If you love me, keep my commandments. You know? And in these times, the word love, the word brother, you know, ahab, those things are being thrown around loosely, man. But those things are sacred. Those things mean something, man. Love, you got to show it through action. And brother, that's a very sacred thing to have a brother, man. You know? Because just like we was talking about in camp earlier today, you know, two are better than one, man. So that word brother is a special word, man. I take it very seriously. But the Lord tell you not everybody is your brother. And not everybody deserves your time and your energy. Okay? Okay? This is John chapter 14 and verse 23. And Yahawashi answered and said unto him, If a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and he will come unto him and make our abode with him. You see? You see? That's straight up. Now let's go to Luke chapter 14 and the same precept. It's like this right here. Can't do it that high. This is Luke chapter 14 and 23. The Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. You see, so we commanded to go out on the highways and hedges, man. Our sole purpose to be out is out there, week in and week out. Because when you do it constantly, the Lord's going to send you mad people to your camp. He's going to send mad people by your camp because he see you're serious and diligent about it, man. Because I say that because we've done it. We've seen it, what happens. You know? Let's get Matthew. You got to be consistent in this and sincere. You know? Matthew 14 and 24 and 46. Blessed is the servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find doing so. You see? Doing the commandments. Doing what the Lord has told you to do. All right? Verse 47. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler of all his goods. Salakia. And all his goods is the whole earth. This whole earth belongs to Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi. And he's going to make you ruler of all his goods if you do the work, you keep his commandments. That's what we should be focusing on. Sharpening one another, man. That's what we should be focusing on. We shouldn't be worried about any other thing other than these precepts and understanding these precepts and doing the work. All things will be added unto you. The Lord is going to sort out who's doing what later on. All right? Let's get Luke chapter 12 and 43. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find doing so. You see? You see? So when Yahawashi comes back and he find his men still pushing his word, still studying this work, you know, still holding firm, because there's going to be a famine of the word. Jacob's troubles are going to come. You know? Esau is going to come down hard on the men of the Lord. But the ones that endure to the end, and be focusing on this right now to fill up their oil, the Lord is gonna reward them, man. That's what we should be worried about. Okay? Verse 43. Salakia. Verse 44. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he hath. And Yahawashi has everything. Okay? So we should be focusing on trying to please Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi and not trying to please other men. And don't be disrespecting men. I'm not saying go around and as a young blood and young in this truth, young in this faith, and disrespect men that be coming for you. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is don't play the part. If you got something on your mind, if you want to say it, you should say it. Be straight up. That's how we gotta be. Because then the devil can't come onto you. You see? We gotta be like that. Alright? 1 Thessalonians, Salakia. I always do it better down here. First Thessalonians chapter 5 and 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. All right, so the Lord is going to come and catch a lot of people slipping. Okay, he's going to catch a lot of people slipping in that day, man. And so we should be focusing on trying to please the Lord and nothing else, man. Nothing else. Doing the work. This is 2 Peter 3. And 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. You see? You see? So all of these things are going to be taken out of here within 10 seconds, man. Seeing, verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Verse 12, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Verse 13, nonetheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Verse 14, wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent, that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and without blameless. Okay? So you gotta be diligent, that you may be found spotless and blameless. Okay? So we got to be diligent in this truth. You got to be diligent and do this work, myself included. You know, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking about myself. You know, I'm judging myself. I'm examining myself first and foremost. Okay? This is let me get 1 Thessalonians again, and then I'm gonna close it out, man. And that's the thing that I wanted to point out. When you're in this truth, man, the biggest thing to do, and first and foremost, is examine thyself, man. That's the best thing to do, because then you're going to see what kind of man you are. First Thessalonians chapter 5 and 11. Wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. You see? Verse 12. And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you. Verse 13. And esteem to them very highly in love for their work's sake. Be at peace among yourselves. Verse 14, now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient towards all men. Okay? And I myself am guilty of losing patience with men also, man. Okay? So with that, first and foremost, I want to say, call halalyam la Yahawah ba Hasham Yahawashi ba Hasham Harakakadash. Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi ba Hasham Harakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect, the one that are pushing this truth and diligence and sincerity across the four winds. Out there on the highways and hedges, out there doing videos, out there making posters, doing whatever to feed the flock. And shalom to any Akwathiam out there pushing this truth and diligence. learning this truth in diligence and in silence. Shalom.